Hey, and welcome to the Creative Marketing Show. I'm your host, Angela S. Joyon. This is the podcast for ambitious women in business looking to cut the BS, stop dancing for likes, and learn to create honest and genuine marketing strategies that don't cause burnout and overwhelm. Have a question about content creation, social media, or maybe you're looking for more clarity on how to take your business to the next level. This is the show that brings the answers to your questions each and every week. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Creative Marketing Show. I'm super excited for this episode. In fact, there are going to be 3 episodes basically related to this because I recently had an experience with my family and it wasn't a very good experience. It's nothing tragic or bad. I will share the story, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized there are so many lessons in this experience that can lend to business and how we operate. And so I'm going to be breaking this episode down into 3 parts: ego, accountability, and recovery. So these are going to be the 3 kind of lessons or themes for each episode. So in today's episode, I'm going to be focusing on the ego portion. And I say ego because you'll hear the story, and a lot of it was kind of like overly confident, kind of showing off, and how that is not always a good thing, especially if you can't back it up. So let me start by sharing the story that happened to us on the weekend. We went out for a lovely dinner. My family and I, my son, my husband, we went golfing. It was a beautiful, beautiful sunny day, and we didn't finish till about 7 o'clock. The Clubhouse restaurant was closed, so we thought we're going to go to our usual spot. We go to this spot at least 3 or 4 times a month. And we thought, you know what, it's always great. Service is great. Food is great. Fantastic. So we'll head on over there. So we get there, and it's a Sunday evening, so it's not typically our usual time that we would dine there. But we got seated on the patio. It was still such a beautiful day. And then right away, within a few minutes, something kind of felt off. And it took us a while for our server to come by, which typically isn't usually the norm, but we both worked in the restaurant industry. So we're trying to be patient, but we are with our son. He's getting hungry. So it's that balance of like, let's just, I don't want to walk out. We're hungry at this point. We've already got here. So finally we do get our server to come by and we order, our beverages. In fact, we had waited longer than usual. So we ended up ordering our meals and our beverages all at once. We were like, yeah, we know what we want. We've been here and we're hungry. And so it's so funny sharing this story just because I don't know. Okay, I'm just really excited because so many things kind of happened after this. And I'm not trying to complain, but just bear with me and hear the lessons. So what had happened was the first instance, my drinks came out. I love getting the flights of beer. I like trying different, I love sour beer. I don't know if you're on the sour beer level, let me know. And so they weren't all sour. I'm like, oh, whatever. So mine came first. And then we see someone walking around kind of with their head on a swivel with our waters and a Sprite for my son. So we kind of wave down. We're like, that looks like ours. Okay, great. She drops them off. And then another 5 minutes goes by. And then 10, and my husband still hadn't gotten his beer, and we hadn't seen our server or anybody. And then finally we see another guy, another server, not ours, come around, kind of looking confused, looking around, holding, it was very obvious it was my husband's order. So we kind of wave him down. And so we were just looking at each other like, okay, it's just not the usual experience we get when we come here. And it was just really obvious. So I thought, okay, no worries. We've all got our beverages. We're sitting and enjoying our time together. And then the food comes out. And I have to kind of rewind. When she did take our food order, this is actually a key part of the story. I can't believe this is the main thing that I'm missing and sharing. But the biggest thing, which I didn't realize it was a big deal at the time, because I used to be a server, I worked in restaurants. I was really, really good at taking orders and not writing anything down. And so she took our orders. There was just the 3 of us, and she didn't write anything down. Didn't think anything of it because I thought, yeah, I've been there. I can do that. And there is just the 3 of us. And so when we got our orders, every order was wrong. So, just little things, right? I ordered this with the salad. I got fries. My husband ordered sweet potato, and he got the regular fries. And so it was just after kind of waiting forever and then getting all of our drinks at a different time, but also having to wave them all down. It was a little bit like, okay, what else is happening here? And the fries were cold, just an FYI, they were cold, which is like the worst thing that can happen. Oh, well, again, I know I sound like so snotty complaining about my meal out, but what I want to get to with this story is the ego portion. And like, the server was really, really friendly. Don't get me wrong. She was very, very lovely. But what was really frustrating was, one, the service wasn't really there. I mean, you can be all smiles and friendly, but it was very obvious that she needed to write this stuff down. And as pleasant as she was, I would not have judged if she had written the order down, because that way I think we would have got all of our food correct. And it even happened when I ordered my son's dessert. He got some sorbet and they always put whipped cream with it. And he just really doesn't enjoy whipped cream. I said, oh, well, have the sorbet. Can he have no whipped cream? 10 minutes later, it comes out and it's got the biggest dollop of whipped cream. And it was just those little things. And I guess that's kind of the point. Those little things add up. But what was really surprising, again, where if you don't write it down as a server, there was a little bit of ego there, I felt like, no, I got it. That was very much the energy. We're giving our orders. She's like, yep, got it. Okay, see you in a bit. And then all of it got wrong. And so when it comes to our business, we might be really, really confident in the things that we do every day, right? I'm sure that when she's working, she's like, yeah, I got this. This is what I do. Like, I know the menu. Yeah, I do this for a living. All good. But sometimes we can get like that ego can sneak in, or that overconfidence. But if you can't back that up, it's not going to do you any favors. And so that was kind of lesson number one that I wanted to talk about, that as friendly as you can be, and as much as you're great at what you do. And I'm sure she's a wonderful server. She was absolutely so pleasant, but just couldn't get the orders right. So sometimes we need to take a step back and reflect on, we know what we're great at, but how are there opportunities where we could be even better? Or do we need to check with ourselves sometimes? Do we need to check in with that ego and that confidence and think, oh, could I be doing this better? Or is this what my clients are looking for, or customers are looking for? So again, this was just kind of like one simple little experience story. We'll still go back there. It's not the end of the world, but I did think it was kind of interesting to pull out little key takeaways and lessons. And so the next one I'm going to share is all about accountability. And so it's the same story. There's a few little tidbits I didn't share today. I'm going to share them in the next episode, because accountability, it's actually my favorite word. If I could teach my son one thing, it would be to be accountable to your actions and your behavior. And so tune into the next episode. I'm keeping these nice and quick. We're going to dive into what happened in this experience that makes me want to talk about accountability, and where can we reflect on that in our own businesses. So thanks for tuning into today's, and then stay tuned. I've got episode all about accountability, and then lastly about recovery. So what happens when we do make a mistake? How can we recover from that? So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will be back with more on this story.